40 for Raidable Crest Titans.
With the unfortunate cancellation of the Malcolm Wilson Rally, the Rallynuts stages would become round 2 of the BTRDA Rally Championship, a new event on the BTRDA calendar this season, but using some familiar stages as far as the crews were concerned. Stephen Petch leads the crews away this weekend with last round winner Paul Bird second on the road. Matt Edwards and Luke Francis both looking to make up for their unfortunate results on the opening round of the series. Onto the opening stages of the day then, and it would be an ideal start for Matt Edwards and Darren Garrett. They needed to get their championship back on track after ripping a wheel off at the first round, and clearly there was no questioning the pace in that Fiesta R5, taking 23 seconds of a lead by the end of the 4th stage of the day.
40, 1 left in, 40, go 4 left minus in, 130, flat 5 right minus, 100, 6 left in okay, over bump 40 down, right tightens 4 in okay, then 40 turns square left, and it tightens, stay in, and 1 right in, and left max 40, left max in 80, 5 left in long, slowing for hairpin right minus.
And it would be a good start too for Luke Francis and John Roberts. They needed some points on the board, and it was looking good for that brief so far. Second place for now, 17 seconds the advantage in that position. After taking maximum points on the opening round, it would be a slightly slower start for Paul Bird and Jack Morton this time out. Third place for now, but they would certainly be pushing into the afternoon if we know this pair well enough. Hugh Hunter and Rob Fagg, another pair we know pretty well. They were trying hard all morning, as was characteristic of them. They end this half of the day just outside our podium places with 4th place. A good start to the rally and only 9 seconds off that podium. It's early frustration for Stephen Petch and Michael Wilkinson. A wrong tyre choice meaning that they don't get the start that they'd have wanted. 5th place at the midway point in the day, 10 seconds back from Hunter. They had almost a minute to the lead, so victory was looking in doubt this weekend, and they had it all to do. Julian Reynolds and Patrick Walsh, meanwhile, make another good start on their second outing in the R5 Fiesta. 2 seconds back from Petch at this stage and 6th on the overall leaderboard. Our 2016 BTRDA champions, Charlie Payne and Carl Williamson, would be a little way off the lead, but they were back, and that's the main thing. A few seconds back from Reynolds up ahead as well, 24 seconds to be exact. They end the morning with 7th place overall. Dylan Davies and Cleon Williams make a good start to the rally, leading the way in the B13 class at this stage from 8th place on the overall leaderboard. And they will be just 4 seconds back on the results to Martin and Dawn England, the pair going well to stay inside the top 10 by the midpoint of the rally. Rounding out the top 10 now would be the iconic Escort Cosworth of Ian Joel and Graham Wood. Some spectacular driving, giving some entertainment on the stages, as well as putting in some times to match. In the classes outside the top 10, it would be the lead in the NR4 battle for Russ Thompson and Andy Murphy. They open up half a minute of a lead in that class, something we don't usually see in this competitive category. And chasing them down on the results would be this man, Tom Norton, with Will Rogers alongside, second in the class, just behind on the overall times as well. And for Dan Moss and Sam Allen, the gap would be a little bigger. They end the morning with 3rd place in the class, a few places back in 14th overall. And rounding out the top of the classes in the Gold Star would be Lee Burgess and Gareth Price, the pair lying 3rd in the B13 class. There was some attrition early on. We lose Matthew Hurst and Declan Deere early in the rally. They roll down a steep bank in the opening stage of the day. Thankfully, both crew okay, but that couldn't be said for the car. So we are midway through the day then. It's a North Wales dominated leaderboard, but would that change through the afternoon stages? Let's see. On to those afternoon stages then here at the Rallynuts stages, and there'd be no change in the B13 result for Lee Burgess and Gareth Price. Third place in the class would be theirs at the finish. And there'd be no change in the NR4 class either. Dan Moss and Sam Allen continuing to hold on to third place in the class, 13th place overall as well. For Tom Norton and Will Rogers, it would be second. A welcomed result given the retirement at the opening round in Llandudno. They get themselves some much needed points on the board though. Frustratingly for this man, Ian Joel, Graham Wood alongside, it was also a place lost overall, ending the rally with 11th place, but they do manage to keep hold of second in the B13 class. Russ Thompson and Andy Murphy move up to round out the top 10 in the second half of the day. And of course, they keep hold of their lead in the NR4 class to take maximum points this weekend. And it would be a class win too for Dylan Davies and Cleon Williams. They take the B13 class this weekend as well as 9th on the overall leaderboard. Martin and Dawn England keep up the pace in the afternoon to take 8th place overall. A good result for the pair this weekend. Previous champions Charlie Payne and Carl Williamson aren't able to make any more positions up on the results here at round 2 though. They don't lose any either though, which could be crucial for that championship campaign, ending the rally with that 7th place overall. It will be another good result though for Julian Reynolds and Patrick Walsh. They end the rally with 6th place overall, putting them 4th in the championship standings after this rally.
Brake and hairpin right. Into. Short, hairpin left. Into. 6 left, 80. Brake, right, into crest and tight, 6 left late. Into. 4 right, 100. Crest into, tight 3 left, long. Brake, into, turn square left. Square right, brake and 6 left bumpy, 80, 1 left request, 100.
There's no change for Stephen Petch and Michael Wilkinson through the final stages either. They settle for that 5th place, and with times so close, their earlier tyre choice could have been the difference in that and a podium position. For Hugh Hunter and Rob Fagg, it will be 4th to end the rally this weekend. A good result that secures them 3rd in the championship points tally. Paul Bird and Jack Morton were unable to take the maximum points again here at round 2. They do, though, finish with a podium place in 3rd, keeping them 4 points ahead on the championship points going into the next round. Our top 2 places would all be about proving a point. Luke Francis and John Roberts completing the rally without incident, taking 2nd place on only their 2nd competitive outing in the WRC Fiesta. A great result for the pair and some much needed points. And the same could be said for Matt Edwards and Darren Garrett, putting right the non-score on the opening round to take maximum points here. Matt claiming his first ever BTRDA victory. So confirmation then of the results at the end of the rally. Victory may have been welcome, but there was a long way to go before that climb to the overall championship leaderboard was complete. The Silver Star category would once again be well contested here in the BTRDA, and over the morning stages it would be the lead for Owen McMacken and Lee Taylor, leading the way in the category and the B12 class. The lead would be a small one, just 6 seconds after 4 stages, with Rob Dennis and Andrew Boswell taking that 2nd place for now, themselves leading the way in the B11 class. It would be a good start to the event for George Lepley and Tom Woodburn, first in the B10 class, and of course, taking the lead once again in that R2 Cup on the final step of the category podium. And just outside the podium places, it will be 4th overall for Ernie Graham and Robin Kellard, the pair leading the way in the historic cruise this weekend with those times. For Bob Vardy and Keaton Williams, it would be second place in the R2 Cup. And of course, in the B10 class as well, a good start to the rally, but they would still need to find 17 seconds if they wanted to challenge for that class win. Just behind them in the class and overall results were Jack Lees and Di Roberts, although they weren't really behind on the times. The pair dead level on the overall times with Vardy, losing out at this stage based on a stage 1 time. Actually, things were close right through the results this weekend, with Alan McDowell and Gavin Hesseltine lying just 3 seconds back overall in 7th, second place in the B12 class as well. And they'd be followed by Steve Hopewell and Clive Jones, themselves only 2 seconds back from McDowell and lying second in the B11 class. Third in that class would be Andy Davison and Tom Murphy, pushing hard out there on the stages and clearly trying. They lie inside the top 10 as well with 9th. And rounding out that top 10 were Nick Dobson and Steve Pugh. They were just a single second back from Davison in both the class and overall results. In some of the classes outside the top 10, it will be second in the H3 class for Steve Ward and Mike Crawford, lying in 12th place overall. And just behind them in 13th were Jonathan Brace and Tim Samuel, third place in the H3 class, 5 seconds back from Ward up ahead. For Colin Griffiths and Tom Bishop, it will be third in the B12 class. The pair had been pushing well all morning to take 14th place overall. And in the N3 class, it will be Zach Hughes and Tom Wood leading the way. They'd actually be an identical overall time to Griffiths in the BMW, but they had a small lead in their class. That lead would be 15 seconds. It wasn't exactly comfortable, but it was a good one over second place James Giddings and Sean Cunniff going into the afternoon stages of the event. And rounding out the top of that class would be Calvin Green and Ocean Owen, 27 seconds back from Giddings at this stage in the event. So we're midway through the rally then, and it's a new name at the top of our Silver Star results. But would the repeated afternoon stages with the experience that had gone before this morning change that leaderboard? On to those afternoon stages then, and it would all be changed in the H3 class. Jonathan Brace and Tim Samuel drop right down the results, ending the rally with third in the class. And there'd be change in the N3 class as well. Matthew and Tim Tordoff taking third in the N3 class this weekend. That change in the H3 class, though, would mean second for Jeremy Wells and Martin Saunders. They take that class result as well as 21st overall. Calvin Green and Ocean Owen managed to jump up to second in the N3 class this weekend, gaining that place with the loss of Zach Hughes from the lead of the class in stage 5. And that, of course, meant a jump up a position for James Giddings and Sean Cunniff too, taking the N3 class win this weekend with a 58-second lead.
Opens 60, 6 left into 5 right in, 40, 2 right in, into 1 left past junction, 2 right in, and 1 left past junction. You can see it, into a 1 right don't. Carry speed, carry speed, carry speed, carry speed. 1 right don't, and flat. 4 left in and flat, 5 right in. 60. 5 left
for Colin Griffiths and Tom Bishop, it will be third in the B12 class. No change for the pair in the afternoon stages. They end the rally with 12th on the leaderboard. Steve Hopewell and Clive Jones round out the top 10 at the end of the event. Sadly, they do drop down the class and overall results, but still a good, strong finish for the pair. But that means for Nick Dobson and Steve Pugh, it will be a podium in the B11 class this weekend. They happily take that position, as well as 9th overall in the category. Continuing with that class is Andy Davison and Tom Murphy in second, staying ahead of Dobson and themselves gaining a place in the class with the drop down the results for Hopewell. There's no change in the lead of the H3 class though. Ernie Graham and Robin Kellard maintaining that position going into the second half of the day, although they do lose a few places overall to end the rally with 7th. Bob Vardy and Keaton Williams will be another to lose a place on the overall leaderboard, ending the rally with 6th place and taking 3rd in the R2 Cup in the process. Meanwhile, it's 2nd in the class for Jack Lees and Di Roberts. A good end to the event for the pair as they take 5th in the Silver Star 2. Alan McDowell and Gavin Hesseltine gained some time through the afternoon stages, moving up to take 4th place overall, their 2nd place in the B12 class remaining unchanged. And it would be another great end to a rally for George Lepley and Tom Woodburn. The R2 Cup victory was theirs, and the pair also take the 3rd step on the Silver Star podium this weekend. Frustratingly for Owen McMacken and Lee Taylor, it will be a drop from the lead, settling for 2nd place this weekend and missing out on victory by just 9 seconds. So all that means it's victory for this man Rob Dennis, Andrew Boswell alongside. A great end to the rally for the pair, securing them the lead in the Silver Star standings as well after round 2. So confirmation then of that close battle for the Silver Star category here at the Rallynuts stages. The 1400 category on the Rallynuts stages would take an early shake-up. Rally leaders Chris Powell and Jim Lewis sadly only making it as far as stage 4 before having to call it a day. So this drama would leave Dave and Toby Brick to take the lead in the event going into the afternoon, and it would be a big one as well, over 2.5 minutes by the end of stage 4. So although not looking likely to challenge for victory as you might expect, the best of the rest at this stage were Kieran Darrington and Simon Jones. They hadn't been out much in recent years, but the pace still seemed to be good enough for the top of the results. For Perry Gardner and Steve Link, it would be 3rd. They were just 18 seconds back from Darrington. It may be possible to change that in the afternoon, but for now, it was looking like a tough fight. Just outside our podium positions would be Stuart Spire and Peter Williams. In fact, lying on exactly the same overall time as Gardner at this stage, so it was all to play for in the afternoon. Just behind them were Richard Cole and Matthew Nicholas, 5th place in the category and 16 seconds back from Spire on the overall times. For Chris Bush and Robert Smith, it will be 6th. They were a little further back on the times, 30 seconds of a gap separating them from Cole. Pete Gorst and Phil King almost didn't make the start of the rally, something breaking on the car on the way to scrutineering. Thankfully, a willing Dave Brick came to the rescue with a spare part to loan, and the pair were able to end the morning with 7th place on the leaderboard. Sadly, that will be short-lived, a separate mechanical issue forcing them to retire after 4 stages. The seemingly cursed stage 4, no problem for Alex Holliday and Jane Wright. It will be 8th place, rounding out the 1400 category at the midpoint in the rally. Frustratingly, as far as the fight and the spectacle was concerned, we'd lose Tommy Meadows and Shannon Turnbull. They suffer with a fire through the opening stage of the rally. In Rally First, it will be the lead in the category for Andrew Wheatley and Ian Nichols. The battle at the top was close, and there will be no backing off for the Puma pair through the afternoon stages. That battle would be with this man, Bart Lang, Sinclair Young alongside. Last year's BTRDA Rally First champions back to defend the title and putting in some good times in order to do so through the morning stages of round 2. The gap to 3rd would be a little bigger. Mark Cox and Paul Gallagher not quite able to keep up with that fight up ahead, taking the final step on the podium, but almost 2 minutes back from the leading pair. They would, however, only have 30 seconds of an advantage over 4th place Owen McConaughey and Rodri Williams, the micro pair putting in some good times themselves through the morning stages. For Guy Butler and Calvin Holdsworth, it will be the lead in the Rally First 2-litre category. New for this season, the increased capacity cars seemed to be proving popular, with 3 out this weekend, 2 of them from Rally Me. And it will be Matt Badley and Paul Barbett in that 2nd car. They were having a close battle with Butler, only 14 seconds back, but a few issues with the power steering and the gears were holding back the times. Rounding out the Rally First category would be Wesley Guilford and Ryan Griffiths, third of the Rally First 2-litre class runners this weekend as well in that Fiesta. So we're midway through the event and already the results changing as the morning goes on. That close battle for Rally First could go either way through the afternoon stages. And onto those stages, there will be no change for Wesley Guilford and Ryan Griffiths. They take that third place in the Rally First 2-litre class in the Fiesta. Sadly for Guy Butler and Calvin Holdsworth at least, there will be a drop down the leaderboard, taking second in the class at the finish, just 15 seconds off class victory. Which of course means that it's the class win for Matt Baddeley and Paul Barbett. Problems didn't hold them back too much, and it kept the mechanics busy at least, meaning it's a team effort taking the class win as well as 5th overall. Over the afternoon stages, there wouldn't be any change in the top of the Rally First results. Owen McConaughey and Rodri Williams maintaining that 4th place to the end of the event. And there'd be no change to that final step on the podium either. Mark Cox and Paul Gallagher taking 3rd in the category by the finish. For Bart Lang and Sinclair Young, there would be nothing they could do to get that top spot this time out, settling for 2nd place with a gap of just 14 seconds to the category winners. And of course, those winners would be Andrew Wheatley and Ian Nichols, the Puma crew holding on to that lead and extending it slightly to take maximum points away from round 2. In the 1400 category, there would be no change for Alex Holliday and Jane Wright, rounding out the results in 7th place overall. No change either for Chris Bush and Robert Smith. They take 6th at the end of the event with a good advantage over Holliday. Sadly for Perry Gardner and Steve Link, it would be a further drop down the results, ending the rally with 5th place after losing their podium place on the afternoon stages. This, of course, meaning a place gained overall for Richard Cole and Matthew Nicholas, 4th place to end the rally for the pair. And benefiting from those problems up ahead as well will be Stuart Spire and Peter Williams. They step up to take the final step on the podium, though with those identical times after the morning stages, it could have been a podium place anyway. And there'd be no change for Kieran Darrington and Simon Jones either. They remain in 2nd place. That victory certainly wasn't looking likely on stage times, but they do maintain a good advantage in that 2nd place. And of course, that means it's victory for Dave and Toby Brick, out this time in a new car, but that didn't seem to faze them one bit, taking the victory as well as helping fellow competitors with a 3.5-minute lead by the finish. So confirmation then of the overall results in the 1400 and Rally First categories this weekend. Next up, the crews head to Mid-Wales for the Plains Rally on the 12th of May. As always, we'll be there to bring you all of the action. And in the meantime, you can catch up with all of the action so far from the Rallynuts stages on our social media. Thank you for watching Special Stage.
Care 40 for Rateable Crest Titans.